Today we're working on a book that has an interesting feature called a concertina spine guard, and it's a decorative feature and it makes a really nice addition to any book that you make, especially like a Coptic stitch book that might have gaps between the signatures. I'm going to show you how we make it work. Right now you're looking at the spine edge with exposed stitching, and it's a book sewn on tapes. The tapes wrap around from the front across the spine and across the back. It has a floating cover on top so that we don't get involved in cutting slots to weave the tapes through. And this concertina spine guard acts as an end sheet for both the front and the back of the book, and it shows up between each signature of the book. So this is a nice place to use colored paper that contrasts with your text pages, or paste paper, or anything decorative that you'd like to use. So the concertina spine guard, this is what it's going to look like when it's folded, when it's complete. This is going to be your front and back end sheets of the book, and each of these pleats will be what shows up between the signatures of your book. So to get started, I recommend practicing first on a few sheets of copier paper. It's lightweight, it's very easy to fold, and you can get the technique down before you work on your good paper. So the first fold we're going to do is fold the sheet in half. And if you're using paper that has two different sides, you need to decide which side you want to be showing on the inside of your book, the side that you will see as you turn the pages of your book. And that will be a mountain fold. And you'll take each fold that you make and crease it with your bone folder. So another thing that helps you stay organized on this is if you take this center fold and lightly mark it with a pencil so that you can keep track of where your center fold is as you move along. For this particular book, we're making each of our pleats 5/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, and just put a little tiny dot. So now I'm going to open up my sheet of paper. I want to get my fold started right on that dot. So I like to use a thumbnail just to get it started. And after you do this initial fold, every other fold will be determined by the width of this fold and your center fold. It's important to keep the top edge of your concertina spine guard up against the edge of your triangle or your straight edge, whatever you're using. And when that's straight, press your fold in with your fingers and then sharpen the crease with your bone folder. What we want to try to do is end up with 3 mountain folds, counting the center fold as 1, 2, 3 mountain folds, and then 2 more mountain folds to the right. So you'll end up with 5 mountain folds total. That's 1 fold in between each of the 6 signatures in this particular book. So now what I want to do is make a fold that's exactly right on the edge of that center fold. Again, make sure the top edge of your paper is butted up against your triangle or your straight edge. And if you make the top edge straight, the bottom edge will follow. Pushing my top edge up against the straight edge, I'm going to fold this back and I want to make this fold exactly line up with this fold here. And you just take your time, make sure the top edge on each side of your concertina is lined up with your straight edge. Push the fold in with your fingertips and then sharpen it with your bone folder. So far, so good. I'm going to open it up all the way. Again, push the top edge up against the straight edge. And I just want to line up this fold exactly on that fold and make sure the top edge is butted up against the triangle. Press the fold in with your fingertips and then sharpen it with your bone folder. So now I need to do one more fold here, and this excess out here will be my end sheet. So you want to take the paper, make sure that's pressed up against the straight edge triangle, and just take your time. Make sure you get that fold exactly right. Keep the top edges pressed up against the straight edge. Press it in with your fingertips. And sharpen the crease with your bone folder. So now we're over halfway done. Now we want to do the other side. So I need to make this fold match that one. So up against the straight edge. Make sure the top edges again are always pressed up against your triangle or your straight edge. This is our center fold. You can see the C that I've marked it with. We can erase that later once we get to that point. Now I need to make a fold that lines up with this one. And again, you want to try to take all the paper, as much paper as possible, and get it out from underneath the fold, the new fold that you're in the process of making. That gives you the best accuracy on each succeeding fold. Again, make sure these top edges are pressed up against that triangle. Press the fold in with your fingertips. Sharpen the crease with your bone folder. So we need to make one more mountain fold. What I need to do now is meet that fold right there. Told you wrong. I'll just move one fold over. Press that up against the triangle. Make sure the top edge is snug. And just keep moving right along. Open it up. It's a lot of opening up and alignment, but this really is a beautiful piece once you get it done. And it makes a really nice, colorful accent to any book that with an exposed spine. Oops, forgot to bone folder it. All right, so I've got my two mountain folds. I need to do one more valley fold to make this the matching end sheet. So again, keeping it pushed up against the triangle. Take your time, try to be as accurate as you can. Press it in with your fingertips. Crease it with your bone folder. And here we are. Last one's a little wonky, but this one turned out much better. You can see that this edge is pretty flat and this edge is pretty flat. And when it's bound in the book, you'll be able to see it from the end and also on the exposed part of the spine. And there you have it, concertina spine fold.